Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Giving God all the glory. My name is Anthony Daniels, and welcome to the 5 Minute Facebook Ministry. Today we're coming out of the book of Luke, the 7th chapter and the 13th verse. That's Luke 7 and 13, and it reads out of the King James Version. And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her, and said unto her, Weep not. Again. And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her, and said unto her, Weep not. Now, this is Jesus, and he was in a city called Nain, N-A-I-N. And when he came to the city gate, he saw a dead man being carried out, and he finds out that this is the only son of his mother. That he's the mother's only son, and that she's also a widow. And he saw the people that was grieving with her. And it says, and when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her. See, Jesus is not waiting on us to come to him all the time. Jesus comes to us. In this case, he sees a lady in a funeral procession, mourning and weeping for her only son. And he has compassion on her. He has compassion on her. He comes to her and says to her, Weep not. See, she didn't have to come to Jesus. Jesus loves us enough that when he sees that we're hurting, he will step in to try to change things for us. The problem is that a lot of us don't recognize when Jesus has stepped in and has given us the opportunity to turn to him. Or we decide not to take that turn because we want to continue living and doing the things that we do. When I was before I got saved, I tell people I was running from the Lord. I wouldn't go to church. I didn't want to go to church, but sometimes I go to church and I feel something. I didn't want to feel anything because I didn't want to become a Christian. Because I like living in sin. And I was running from Christ. And Christ was calling me, just like he called this woman. And he told her to weep not. And he was probably telling me the same thing, but I didn't want to listen. So we need to understand that although we can't always go to Jesus, he's always got open arms. And he will always welcome us if we come to him. Because sometimes when we are in our lowest, or we're starting to get low, get to our lowest, we're about to hit rock bottom. Sometimes Jesus reaches out to prevent us from hitting rock bottom. And sometimes we choose not to answer his call. So if you're feeling something, if you feel something, if you feel a pulling, if you feel something inside, something internal, telling you that God is calling you, you need to answer that call. Jesus has so much in store for you. He has so much in store for me that we can't do it alone. And we can't get through life alone. And the problem that people don't realize is that we put so much importance on this life, on the short time that we have on this earth. And what we need to be concerned about is eternity. And because we live thinking about today and not eternity, Jesus is not first in our lives. We put him on the back burner. We can always get to him later because we're trying to enjoy this life and make so much out of this life. But this life means nothing if we don't accept the call of Jesus Christ, and we end up spending eternity without Jesus. So that's the choice that we have as we walk the earth. This young lady, when Jesus called her and said, Weep not, he's saying it to us today. Weep not, cry not, worry not. He's gonna touch your situation. He's gonna put his hands on you, and he's gonna give you a peace and a joy. And even though he may not solve your problem, he will give you a peace and a joy and the strength to get through that problem, to deal with that problem, if that problem continues. And you'll know that Jesus is involved. I always tell people, there's no way that I can prove to you that Jesus Christ is real. But once you start seeking him, he will prove to you himself that he's real. And that's all the time that I have. And God bless you. God love you. I love you too. Have a great day.